Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Now, there's a huge setback for Gautam Adani, and that is coming from the Kenya High Court, which has suspended $736 million deal, which amounts to about 6,189 crore. Now, what is the detail which is coming out of this? A Kenyan court has suspended $736 million, that is about 6,189 crore government agreement with Adani Group for the construction and operation of high voltage power transmission lines over a period of 30 years. Now, this decision could have significant implications for Kenya's energy structure and foreign investment climate. The suspension may also lead to legal challenges and further discussions about the project. Now, the Kenya High Court has said that the Law Society of Kenya basically has challenged this Adani Power Solution deal, saying that this deal is a constitutional sham and this is tainted in secrecy. So was Adani Power violating rules? Because this is also what is said and petitioned by the Law Society, which says that it's a mandatory requirement that the public participation is important, and that apparently was bypassed by the Adani Group. And there's also a lot of murmur about the airport deal, over which there's a lot of anger in Kenya. So is Adani trying to expand his footprints on a similarly corrupt model which he's trying to execute in India? All these are very important questions. So we'll try and discuss all of this with a very special person, Supreme Court lawyer and activist Arun Agarwal. And Arun Agarwal has been very, very vocal about Adani's projects and what kind of corrupt practices he indulges in. And also, as far as the institutions are concerned, say, for example, SEBI. SEBI has been silent on it. And is Adani trying to export the same corrupt model to Kenya and other nations as well? These are some very important questions before everyone to see. We'll try and bring out the contrast as to what and how the systems in India function and how the system of a small African nation like Kenya responds to these situations. Thank you so much, Mr. Agarwal, for joining on HW News. And is it really a big setback for Gautam Adani, given the fact that now the Kenya High Court has responded aggressively and said that we cannot go ahead with this deal?
Yes, it is a very big setback because this is a hat-trick of setbacks. The first occurring in Bangladesh, then in Ceylon and Sri Lanka, what is Sri Lanka now, and now in Kenya. So what we are seeing is that Mr. Adani travels with the entourage of the Prime Minister, or even if he doesn't travel, he is promoted directly by the Prime Minister, so that some contracts, major contracts, infrastructure, developmental contracts may be given to Adani. And it is seen as a proxy for, these businessmen are seen to be the leading businessmen of this country who are helping to build infrastructure here, and they can do so similarly over there. What he does not reveal, what these people experience later on, that his whole model is based on a model of over-invoicing, corruption, and milking the consumer by bits and bleeding them by bits and pieces so that his corruption goes unnoticed. Now, this model may be very successful in India, but it doesn't cut ice in foreign countries because they are not accustomed to this type of deal. I mean, we are having a hyper-corruption which is, with the passing of decades, is getting worse and worse, whereas they have not experienced that type of corruption. So
the fact
their
that
development level may not be that great. Pardon?
No, you were talking about the corruption model of Adani, of over-invoicing and other malpractices which he indulges in. Now, how big is this an embarrassment for Prime Minister Modi, for India as well?
No, it is an embarrassment for every Indian. If the perception, like in America, if the perception is that Indians work hard, they're sincere, they are savvy in technology, and they built a reputation. Similarly, if you go somewhere else and if they say Indian industries are corrupt, they're not only corrupt in their country, but they are promoting corruption in our country, naturally our image will suffer. We don't want, this is not the true image. I mean, Adani cannot be the benchmark of the character of an Indian person. But before you come to the entire thing, I'll explain to you. See, I have considerable experience in this infrastructure project because I spent 2 years of my life fighting an infrastructure foreign project called KETRACO, which you will not believe had a capital of less than $2 lakh. And it was trying to set up an energy plant of 1,000 megawatts for which it didn't have money. The debt equity ratio used to be 3:1. And yet our people, ignoring the big industries like Tata and all, went and did a deal with the Adani, with the Adani of USA's KETRACO, and they came over here. I had not done my law at that time, and I had the biggest lawyers against me. And yet the court saw through that corrupt deal, and the proposition over there was that there was a loss of 30 to 40,000 crores to the Indian consumer on a project which was then of 4,000 crores. So what I'm trying to say is, and let the viewers know, that though the projects may be only of 5,000, 6,000 crore, but the consumer may be milked for 10 times that amount. And why is it so? Because by that capital or by that electricity plant, over the life of that project for 30 years, they produce power which is worth 3 or 4 lakh crores. So because the power produces 3 or 4 lakh crores, and if there is 10% overpricing in that, then naturally you lose 30,000 crores, which is a huge amount. I mean, it is just not a matter of losing, say, 5,000, 6,000 crores. And it is over a period of time. And because you are allowed type of this thing, so you can very easily give 30-40% of the project cost as commission, which the decision makers, they do not realize why they are getting this hefty commission.
Stay ahead with our cutting edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.